You want to go to Stuttering John next?
Well, no, I'm just. Where do you
We'll do this is quick. We'll talk about Stuttering John real quick. This was actually kind of sad. Another sad topic today.
So sad.
This bummed me out because, and I'll admit, I got to be the first to raise my hand and admit, with Stuttering John, I would be a little namby-pamby, and I'd be like, "What do we even talk? I'm done talking about this guy." And then, like 2 weeks later, I would miss him. And I realized I have an addiction. You know, that's the problem with addicts is sometimes they don't. The first step is admitting it, they say. And so I've tried to come to grips with that and be honest and forefront. I had a Stuttering John addiction for some time, and I've curbed it to a degree, but I still miss him. Like the heyday of Stuttering John, I miss it. Those were good times, man. And you start to think, oh, maybe it's coming back. He's suing Carl and Shuley, apparently. They'll finally be destitute. John's going to take everything they have. It's about time. It's all coming together. And then John went live yesterday. So he did a Politics Plus with Richard Ojeda and Brian Karem, right?
Yes.
I didn't watch that. I watched the more bizarre. I actually messaged Casey and was like, what's happening right now? because there was a show on Stuttering John's channel with just the letter J up for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a blank screen with just some logo. I don't know what it's supposed to be really even.
Just his name. It's just his first name and
like his YouTube icon or something. Yeah,
that's all it is. Yeah.
So John goes live and just like, I'm just trying to get. I don't want to lose my monetization, so here's an hour. And then he just does an hour, and it was depressing. And even I say depressing, not because of John's attitude or output or anything like that. I say depressing because John, even at his worst, was always entertaining. But this makes me think, is the lemon finally dry? Is the lemon finally all squeezed out? Will we be able to talk about Stuttering John ever again? Is it done?
It feels
because that's all this live stream made me think is like. And by the way, I popped in to see if he was live. It was like 100 and something people. Like there was no one there. So I don't know. Are we done with John?
Well, he left long enough to people found other locales and things that interest them. You know, a Karmic X came along. Like the vacuum has been filled. So when he tries to come back in, the space isn't the same. You know, like people would rather watch other things. And who is this?
It was a bummer. It was a bummer, almost to the degree I didn't even bother to. I just figured we'd play a couple clips to acknowledge it, and if anyone has any other details, they can chime in the chat or whatever. But this was just depressing. He comes on, he stumbles in drunk. His camera's not on.
So drunk.
And like I said, that's classic John, right? We're right back to it. Oh, the other thing is that probably made this lackluster. He can't talk about Carl or Shuley. Yeah. And he's actually obeying that. Like their names came up a couple times. Yeah, he had what's the guy's name?
Clearwater Chad really tried, yeah.
Yeah, Clearwater Chad is on, and he mentioned the dues payer and Lady K, and John just skips right over that. I guess to his credit, you can tell he really thinks this is going to be the lawsuit that takes those guys down because he's taking it very seriously.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's not like there's a gag order on the case. He can talk about that.
Carl and Shuley have talked about it to a degree. I mean, like they're not getting into specifics, but yeah, you can say it exists, right?
Yeah. I think a strategy for Carl and Shuley should be to talk about it a lot. Because every time they talk about it and get close to the line, guess whose attorney has to bill John to make sure that's good
That's
again.
a good point, yeah.
The strategy is to bleed him by talking about him forever.
I will say, if you want to call John smart, maybe it's growth that he probably has a hard and fast rule. Like if he talks about it even a little bit, he's not going to be able to help himself. So probably smart that he just stays away from it altogether. But let's hear this first, just depressing clip.
Yeah.
Like this is a bummer.
Lackluster. You called it lackluster, and that is
a real bummer.
Yeah.
I'm not blocking anybody, really. I just wanted to try and see if I can get my mic to work, but it's not working. But it is.
Remember when his mic never worked, and those are the best. He'd be turning it on, and I could never figure anything out. It was great. But this was just like, that's fine, John. whatever.
Yes.
Leave your mic like that. It's no big deal. Who gives a shit? I'll just move on.
He's got the free StreamYard.
Yep, free StreamYard. This is
Real nice.
This is Jake Hudson level. Mike, we're at Jake Hudson level.
Yeah.
Drunk Jake Hudson.
Guys, again. Oh, this is good. How many brewskis are you deep, John? Probably like 5.
That means 10.
I'd say 5.
Right. What are you? Probably 5. You lost count. Just say 5, but even if it's 6 or 4, who gives a fuck?
Well, this is my 6th, I think. Skill.
6.
All right, and then I had 4 before I started counting, so I guess we're in the double digits. Whatever.
This makes me
even
think
he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, this makes me think seeing like Babe Ruth live would actually suck, right? Because like you have I had a memory of John of being like at least slightly entertaining, and our hate made that come out. And this is off. This is this is not.
Well, no, you're right. We lived through these. It's more like seeing Lou Gehrig live. This is Lou at the end. Unfortunately, this is just a sad demise that we're watching here. Yeah, so we only have one other clip, and this is where it got really pathetic, where like he's jealous of Aaron Imholt.
Yeah,
this is brutal.
Yeah.
I never cared about the guy. I had no idea, and I think that's the demise of the Dabbleverse, if you will, because I can give a shit about Steel Toe. I don't even know what the fuck he ever did.
Like I said, Steel Toe was never famous. He was not on, like Kevin was on Saturday Night Live. You were on the Tonight Show, and Howard Stern. He wasn't. He was kicked out of the. He was a boxer, and he was kicked out of that. And same with Lady K.
I always wonder. You guys can hear Clearwater Chad speak, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Because the few times I've heard him, I've always wondered, like, am I the only one hearing this? It seems almost like so boring that I can't imagine. It's like antimatter. Like I can't imagine it's being picked up by other ears. It's so incredibly dull.
Is he just the ultimate kiss ass?
I don't really know what he is even. Like he's just
no one does. No one does.
He's there to service John, but he's also trolling John.
Everything is just to subscribe to my channel. That's all it's about for him. He'll do anything.
Clearwater Chad was the perfect John lackey to have on this episode, because even he's a guy like he inspires no reaction. Like Rob Saul, you could be like he's a piece of shit, he's a dick. Clay Dabbler, you can call annoying or whatever. Clearwater Chad is just there, and you're just like, oh yeah, there he is.
I love
and it's
this
the perfect
too.
encapsulation. Yeah.
It says no super chats will be read under $4.99, and then he's reading a $1.99 super chat from my lost interest.
That's the John. That's the John we love. There he is.
Yes, but there's no energy to that. He doesn't even embarrass himself. It's just on the screen. You don't even get to goof on him, really.
That is a great catch.
Lady K is a failed marketing man. He's kicked out of the marketing department of his old company, so now he has to broadcast and stream for nickels.
Actually.
Yeah, but I just never understood, like...
That's all true. I like that there's never... I guess John King isn't allowed to talk about Carl. But I guess even if someone was shitting on me mercilessly, and Casey trying to be a good little boy, like, kisses my ass. And like, say Carl, just the best example. Like, Carl was going after me, and Casey was like, he was a failed marketing guy that streams for nickels. I would have to. Well, that's not. Well, his channel's bigger than mine, and I think he did. I think he left marketing because his podcast was doing so well. Like, there's no moment for any of these people of like, all right, well, you can't just say anything. Like, there has to be some basis in fact. Otherwise, what are we doing here? If all of it is bullshit, then what's the point of any of it? None of it makes sense.
Well, it's a troll on Carl, because Carl clearly doesn't have the time in his day to go correct the record on all of these, right? Because he's building a business that's more successful than all these fuckers. And so they just
the idea, like Clearwater Chad is like kissing John's ass there, but it's actually like to John's detriment.
Correct.
It's like, no one's going to listen to anything you say if you don't clarify that, you know?
My guess is Rocco or whoever kind of controls Clearwater Chad, and I think it's Rocco. That's my guess. And I think Rocco is like, hey, here's a couple things. Try to get him to talk about Shuli. Try to get him to talk about Carl. And so that was the mission. This guy is always on a mission.
Yes.
Why everyone's obsessed with Steel Toe. I mean, it seems
You're
And
obsessed with him. Clearwater Chad starts going, how about Lady K? And he's like, why are you always talking about Steel Toe? No one was, man. You brought it up twice now.
Yeah. And you left. This is your fault. that we're talking about Steel Toe.
Right.
just see
Come back. We'll probably still be talking about Steel Toe.
he like Pinky talk about it. I'm like, I don't care.
I know. Like I said, they have no content.
That's
Same
a
with-
great. I love that way of like walking through life. Like, if I was talking to Casey and I was like, I don't get why you care about the Oregon Ducks. Why are you always talking about the Oregon Ducks? I don't care about them. You shouldn't like them. It's not something I'm interested in. Why do you? I don't care about them. Why are you watching them every week? It's the most self-absorbed way to go through life. Where he's like, but I don't understand why these other people are interested in something if I don't care about it.
I know you were joking, but I've never been angrier at you in that moment. But I've let it go.
That Shuley, you know, I don't know who could trust him, but you can't trust a Shuley, in my opinion. His show is down in the swamp, in the gutters, and in the garbage.
Yeah, I don't have any comment on any of those guys, but I do know that I should give it.
What did Tabba Benedict tell me to say here?
What did that guy who killed that guy driving drunk, my lawyer, say to do here? Because that's the guy you want to listen to.
If Clearwater Chad is like, Shuley's a dick. Didn't Carl call John like a slur the other day?
I think so. Oh, yeah. The F word, I think.
He called, yeah. And John's like, I can't talk about those guys. It'll blow the case wide open.
I like the lawyers giving Carl that advice. Listen, you can't say anything about the case. The F word, all day. All day, please. So even the receptionist out front wants you to do it. We all want that.
Just call him a big homo. That's above board. That's my legal advice.
Yes.
Shit about Stilto. And so he swung for a little while. Who gives a shit? There's plenty of people who swung.
Right. I agree with you 100%.
Chad, I'm sure you.
It's amazing.
There's plenty of people who swung.
And he was. Do you watch the whole thing where he was asking Clearwater Chad about like his sexual life and what positions he liked?
Again, it was like
too much. Ugh.
But it was even something where maybe in the past we could have played it, but I was just like, who gives a fuck? This guy
wants
nobody
that
knows.
image in their head. Nobody. Ew.
This guy no one knows hasn't had sex in 10 years. Who gives a shit? And it's like John thinks he's Howard, where it's like he could make that interesting.
100%. I thought that on my walk when I was listening to it. I'm like, he's doing, like, no one's doing Howard anymore. So he's like, I'll do Howard.
Right. I can have some virgin on or some guy who doesn't get laid, and I can make that interesting. But this is how John made it interesting. Clearwater Chad would be like, I've only had sex with one woman in my entire life. And John would go, what?
Yeah.
What?
Hold up. Wait a sec.
Some things you just can't make interesting.
He'd go, you're telling me, I don't know. Doesn't that seem like not a lot of times? And it's like,
That's exactly what he said.
yes, very good, John. You're grasping it. That's good, buddy.
He got the setup of Howard, but not the punchline. That's a rough spot to be in.
Yeah, so it was fucking depressing, man. It was sad to watch. And, like I've been guilty of saying like, oh, we talk too much about John. We should all stop talking about John. I've been guilty of that before. And now I don't think it'll be a problem now. I got what I asked for. And, I'm made to eat a serving of humble pie. I've been humbled by this experience because I realized, you don't realize you're in the good old days when you're actually in them.
Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike. Look at me. I did it. Kragers did it.